Okay, can you guys hear me okay? Alright, you guys want to talk about games a little bit more? Come on. You know I'm going to talk about games anyways. You might as well make me feel like you want to hear it. You want to talk about games a little more? Yeah! Alright, that's a little better. So at this point in your coding challenges, I'm sure you've all finished up your application and you're actually looking for more features to add to make it even cooler. Is that the case? No hands? Well, even if you're not done with your application, you're going to want to keep working it, right? You're going to take it home and you're going to want to add features and you're going to want to make it cooler and cooler and do more stuff. So we're going to look at a couple games today, and we're going to look at some ways that we're taking these HTML5 games that we started on the web, we brought them into a Windows 8 app, and now we're going to use some very specific features to Windows 8 that takes those games to the next level. Now you guys know that Microsoft is also a game company, right? We have the Xbox, we have game studios, so we have a bit of a culture of gaming. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to bring some of that same gaming culture back into Windows 8 in these HTML5 games. Now, if you were awake for our last session, you saw a game that we had called Yeti Bowl. And I'm going to pull up Yeti Bowl again, and we're going to talk about a couple of details. But first, I'm going to switch over to another game that is quite popular in the Windows 8 store today, and it's called Agent P. So Agent P is from the hit Disney TV series Phineas and Ferb, and he's a little platypus who saves the world every week. So Agent P is running through this little world here, and I'm going to get it started. And he's going to be collecting these little golden platypus flippers. And he's going to be fighting robots. And then challenging. So this is a fun game. And you notice there's a couple of ways that I can control it. I have on-screen input that I can touch and control Agent P, but I also can use the keyboard and control them here. But to make it a little bit more fun, I'm going to pull out one of these. You guys recognize this? And for those of you who on the WOWZAPP, this is an Xbox controller. So this is the same controller that I'm going to plug into my Xbox controller. And I'm going to plug it into my USB port on the computer here. And once I get that in securely. So now what I'm doing is I'm actually playing this same Windows 8 game, and it's just the next one. I can rename So I'm able to pretty easily, it really takes over a couple lines of code. And you guys know I mentioned this is an HTML5 application. And we don't have access to the Xbox controller through HTML5. So what I have is a C++ component that I put inside of my Windows 8 app there. And that gives me access to the X input controller that lets me use the Xbox. So I read the values from the Xbox controller in C++ and pass them over to JavaScript where I turn them into game code. So I'm going to open up Yeti Bowl next. And you guys kind of remember what we were doing here. We're a Yeti, and yeah, there's no audio. Okay. No, was it pretty loud online? Okay. Sorry, all of you who are watching this streaming. Okay, so with Yeti Bowl, I'm going to knock these hikers off the hill, and as they come up, I'm going to throw my little snowballs here. And again, we have the screen controls for touch, and we also have the controls with the keyboard. I also have that same game here on my Surface. But one of the advantages that I have for the Surface here is I can actually use the accelerometer built into the device to act as a control. Now, for those of you who are watching this cast, I apologize that you're not going to get to see that happen. But I'm going to pull up Yeti Bowl here. And for those of you who can see from home, when we start the game, we can actually use the tilt controls in the device to determine where the ball is going to go. So it gives me yet another way to use some sensors that are on the device to add controls and to kind of add a level to the game that we didn't have before. So yesterday we looked at the picker a little bit whenever we edit our hikers. So here from the hikers, I'm going to add a new hiker. And in order to get those pictures, I'm going to actually hit a file picker that's going to go directly to my contacts and let me pick from my friends the people who I'm going to knock off the mountain. And it's always fun to knock your friends off a mountain with a snowball, right? So this is your one opportunity to do that. So I'm going to select from the contacts again, and I'm going to show you in a few minutes exactly what services we're using to make this happen. But I'm basically contacting the my contact service, pulling in information, whether it be their names or the pictures, whatever, and I'm taking that picture and I'm placing it into my little hiker here, and then I composite it for the game. Likewise with the Yeti, it's pulling the information from my profile to pick my profile picture and kind of make me the master Yeti there. So I'm going to go ahead and start this game. And one of the features that I added to this game, I picked up from an Xbox game. I have an Xbox game at home that takes pictures of you as you're playing the game. And so I was looking at the pictures from the Xbox game, and I was thinking, wow, I actually look pretty cool when I'm playing a game. So I figure I probably always look pretty cool when I'm playing a game. So what I did is I added the same feature to this, and I had it take pictures of me as I was playing the game. And I was right. I look pretty cool playing a game. So what I'm able to do with this is not only view those pictures, but I can select one of these pictures and make it my profile picture. So I'm able to take pictures from the game, and now you can see, if you go back to my profile, here it has updated my profile picture to be that picture that it just took from the game. So I'm able to access the webcam on here to take some pictures of me while I play the game, and then also have a service to be able to take those pictures that I've collected and actually use them as a profile picture, all from within the game. So I'm going to go through a little quickly here, but go through some of the different services that we use for this. One of the things that we looked at yesterday was snap mode, where we can snap it to the side. And it's actually quite easy to do that in a game. You can do that with CSS and directly use different CSS properties for when you're in snap mode versus when you're in full mode or when you're in fill mode. But we also have some custom logic that in JavaScript directly, we can reference Windows UI view management to find out whether we're in snap mode, full mode, or fill mode. And then we can write custom JavaScript for that. So in the case of Yeti Bowl, when I pull that to the side, it's here somewhere. When I pull him to the side, it actually shows me some stats of what I've been doing in the game. Instead of showing me a little view of the gameplay, it's going to show me some stats and give me some information there. So it's quite easy to add that feature into your game. So whenever we use the user profile data, there's a pretty simple API that I can call to get information about me as the user. So I'm logged on with my profile, so it's going to have access to my name and my image as well. So it's pulling that image in from my profile and using it as the Yeti head. The contact picker, so I'm actually going into my contacts and it provides the UI for me. That's nothing that I had to do within the game. That is part of the API that I call there that provides that UI to be able to choose your contact. And once I do, it brings that contact information back in, and I can reference the image from that contact data, which is what I put on the heads of the little hikers. So 2 different services gets me images from 2 different places. I can also have the ability to create those thumbnails directly from the picture. Ads is another popular one. So one of the great things about having an app instead of doing things on the web is you can generally make a little bit of money. So this is one of the ways that you can place ads within your applications. Microsoft has an ad SDK that you can add to your project, and then it's a couple lines of code, and Microsoft takes care of all those ads. All you have to do is collect the money. Live tiles is another feature, and I don't know if you noticed, but my Yeti bowl is updating with a live tile whenever I go back. And so that, again, is just a few lines of code that provides that. And notification. So once I do a share or something like that, the app is going to come back and notify me that that share was complete. And again, I have a notifications API that I can call that handles all of that for me. So I don't really have to write any custom code for notifications. Windows 8 is going to provide that. Another feature of being inside the app that you don't have access to on the web. So the webcam access was pretty easy. What I'm doing is I'm turning the webcam on at the beginning of the game session. And then I'm doing, I think, a 15-second interval. Every 15 seconds, I snap another picture from the camera. I save it off as an image in my images directory. And then I go back and pull from those images at the end to determine which one I want to make as my profile picture. Updating the user information was quite easy. I have access to that. Now, a lot of these advanced features you do need to declare in your manifest so that the users have the ability to give you the permission to do those things. The first time you run the game, it'll ask you if they can have permission to the webcam. User has to say yes. It'll ask me if I can have permission to the user profile information. The user will have to say yes for that. And then whenever they go to their settings, they're always going to have the ability to turn those features on and off again. So that's kind of a quick tour of some exciting features that you can add to your game, to your application, to take your HTML5 games to the next level. So hopefully I inspired you guys a little bit to think of your games or your applications in a different way and bring some new features to them. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some of your projects in the end, and good luck with the rest of your coding day. Thanks for your time.